Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We're going to have a look at Tracy Carragher. She is a North Lanark councillor who now wants to stand as an MP. And I'm going to suggest that she shouldn't stand as an MP because I think she's unfit for office. Now, Miss Carragher is, or Mrs. Carragher, I don't know if she's married or not, but Miss Carragher is someone who is an authority figure within the party. And she was informed of a particularly nasty event that occurred at the hands of one of her councillors. Indeed, it was the leader of the council at that point, Jordan Linden. And we've covered the Jordan Linden scandal in past videos. We know all about it. But rather than investigate or hand this over to the police, as one would expect, Miss Carragher decided that in actual fact, covering up what had happened and making sure that everyone, all the way up to Peter Murrell, knew what happened, and that she was then to blame the victim, threaten the victim, indeed, over these serious, allegations at that point. Now, subsequently, of course, the police are now investigating Jordan Linden. It turns out that it wasn't just the one event, and like I suggested at the time, there were many more, and it turns out that that's correct, including involving sort of potentially people who are under any age of consent. Let's just leave it at that point at the moment. Don't want to get myself into trouble. So there's a possibility, and the investigation is heading in that direction. There's no implication that he is guilty of anything. I'm not going to say that he's definitely guilty, but they were very, very serious allegations. And it was to the point that the police have indeed begun an investigation into him. Jordan Linden resigned immediately, and still she did nothing. And now this woman who covered up these things wants to represent the people. And I'm pretty sure the people don't want anyone like Tracy Carragher to represent them. What is even worse, I think, is that this woman has passed the vetting procedure of the SNP and is eligible to stand. Now, when you consider that we did a story yesterday about Mary Black's sort of right-hand man, failed vetting, it makes you wonder what you've got to do to fail the vetting in the SNP. The bar must be low. It must be very low. You must actually be able to do the limbo dance to get under it. It must be that low. Anyway, we'll take a look at the story and see why I think, and I'm sure that you will at the end see why Tracy Carragher is in fact completely unfit to hold high office. Here goes. So, SNP councillor who ignored SPES claims is now in the running to become an MP at the next general election. And you have to ask how. How is this possible? The party's Tracy Carragher was accused of ignoring the claims, now at the centre of a police investigation, but has been cleared to stand as a candidate. It is unbelievable. Now she is a woman who actively covers up these things. I mean, these crimes, allegedly. An SNP councillor accused of ignoring these claims, these Essex assault claims, is now hoping to become an MP. Carragher, the party's leader in North Lanarkshire, is looking to stand in the next general election, despite being involved in the Jordan Linden scandal. Deeply involved, complicit, some may say, in the scandal. Carragher, who was a close ally of the pest, has passed the party's internal vetting procedures for the next election. But the Sunday Mail understands she's not yet been selected as a candidate. And let's hope that, although she may be on the selection list, let's hope that once selected, or once they come to doing the selection, should I say, that they select someone else, anyone else, it doesn't matter who. You cannot have someone who covers this sort of thing up as a representative of the people. I don't want it, and I'm pretty sure most of the viewers of this channel wouldn't want that woman representing them. And that's regardless of her policies, just simply because of what she's done. It's the second time of the SNP North Lanarkshire group leader has tried to become an MP after failing in her bid in 2019. And critics say Carragher is unfit to be an MP given her involvement in the Linden scandal. I think she's also unfit to even be a councillor anymore. Many have questioned how she managed to pass the SNP's strict vetting process. Well, the vetting process may be strict, but I don't think it's very exacting. I think they'll let you through as long as you're not actively being arrested at the interview. I think that's more or less it. The councillor for Coatbridge South has senior allies in the party. Of course she does. It's the only reason she's still there. And also the fact that they daren't get rid of her. She knows where the bodies are buried. She could take a lot of people down with her. That's the trouble with a party so incestuous with all the marriages and the affairs and things that goes on. Everybody, is forced to back everyone else. If one goes down, they all go down, She also did casework. She works for MP Fulton, or MSP, Fulton McGregor as a part-time caseworker. Sorry, I missed that bit. She also did casework for the party's business convener, MP Kirsten Oswald, earlier this year. And I am perplexed as to why Kirsten Oswald has not yet been arrested and questioned in relation to the finances scandal. Certainly she would have... she didn't sign off on it, I know, but she was deeply mired in it, I'm sure. In February, the Sunday Mail told how Councillor Cammy McManus claimed he had told Carragher months earlier that he'd been, harassed and SA'd by her predecessor, Jordan Linden. But she had taken no action, and she denied McManus's account. But of course, it turns out that he's not the only one. And so, there's no smoke without fire and everything. At the very least, it should have been an investigation. And she did nothing. Carragher became the group leader after Jordan Linden stepped down following revelations about the misconduct claims against him, which of course he denies. He's going to deny everything. It's the SNP way. He won't put his hand up and say, yes, I am like that. Party's full of us, Some of these claims are being probed by the police, with others dating back to 2008 also being investigated. As I say, some of these are against, shall we just say, young people. The Progressive Change North Lanarkshire Party was set up in the wake of the Linden scandal. Yeah, I mean, the councillors, the SNP councillors in North Lanarkshire were so sickened, scunnered even, by the fact that this woman did nothing, and then went victim blaming. She went victim blaming, protecting him, Linden, and then sort of trying to oust the victim. It's totally unacceptable. Anyway, to a man and woman, they up sticks and walked, left the SNP, formed a new party, and they sit as this new party on that council. And I've got to say, good luck to them. Good luck for having the courage of their convictions and saying enough's enough, and they're not putting up with it. So, tip hat to those ones. Anyway, she neglected a complaint of harassment, protected Jordan Linden, and refused to acknowledge her role as leader to appropriately investigate his alleged actions, then threatened to suspend the person who reported their experience with Linden to her, victim blaming. Humza Yousaf admitted earlier this year that things could have been handled better in North Lanarkshire and promised a review, which never materialised. What exactly are the SNP HQ vetting if they choose to ignore this sort of behaviour consistently? An SNP spokesperson said, "We do not comment on internal party processes." Of course they don't. But this isn't an internal party process. This is a woman vying to become a representative of the people. And the people must have a right to know. People must be told what she's done, what's being investigated. To do otherwise is contemptuous and is certainly not in any way democratic if you're hiding what these people do to that extent. But what do you expect? It is, after all, the SNP. They never, ever take ownership of their actions. They always blame the victims. Tracy Carragher was asked for comment. And of course, comment came there none, yet more silence, out of shame, I think, more than anything else. Meanwhile, Linden's partner, Adam Gentles, has been charged after allegedly harassing Sunday Mail journalists. It was claimed Gentles threatened the reporter and photographer after they attempted to speak to Linden about the police investigation. So, they're just nasty all round, aren't they? Just nasty, nasty people doing nasty, dirty, degenerate, disgusting things. And then they're backed, covered up, helped, assisted, and everything you can do to help the perpetrator of these crimes. And that's who wants to be an MP. Let's make sure she isn't. I'll stop there and I'll come up. Yep, so obviously she's only on the list now to become an MP. She's not been selected to stand anywhere. We've got to make sure she's not allowed. Everyone's got to keep raising noise about that. So do please like this video and absolutely share it. Let's get it out there. Let's make as many people as possible aware of who this woman is, of what she's done and why she is completely unfit to ever be a representative of the good people of Scotland in whatever constituency she thinks she would like to represent. I shall stop. Thank you very much for watching this video. I think it's an educational one. Do please hit the subscribe button. It absolutely positively helps the channel very actively, because we're political and you see this sort of story, YouTube doesn't like it, pushes us down, so we need all the help we can to get it up and get the truth out there. So do please subscribe, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay away from Jordan Linden, he's a very naughty boy, and goodbye.